What's up, and welcome back to another episode of Campfire Convos. Our guest today is my Aunt Cathie.
Hi.
And we're just going to sit around the fire, talk a little bit, and see where the conversation goes. Before we get into that, as always, we are sitting around a solo stove, sitting on some Cliq chairs, Classic 2.0s, and we're going to drink some more Andy Shandy from the Brew Bank in Ridgway. And we're also going to have some Cussewago Creek Distillery, Esther's Banana Rum Liqueur is going to be our shot for the day, and I think we're going to take a couple sips of it throughout the episode. So we're going to do that. I'm going to pour these beers real quick. Aunt Cathie doesn't drink beer, so Carla's actually going to have some beer with us today. So Carla, come on in. We're going to get you a little glass of beer.
I drink rum.
Yeah, rum's a good one. Rum and Coke, right?
Rum and Coke.
I'm working on some non-alcoholic options for this, so because I do have some guests who don't drink at all.
Yeah.
So having that, I think, would be really cool. The Brew Bank has a really good root beer, but I can't keep it. Like, they don't have any way to like keep it pressurized so that I can actually bring it with me.
You know who has a good one?
What's that?
Levity.
Ooh.
Oh my God.
Root beer?
Oh, ask your uncle. When we go, anytime we go, they have cider there, Arsenal cider, which is what we drink. But somebody has to drive.
Yeah.
So he drinks the root beer.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, it is really good. They sell out of it a lot every time. I mean, we go, and then once in a while they won't have any.
Yeah.
So, but they have. I don't know if that's the stuff because they make it in cans.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, they just have it from tap at the Brew Bank, so I don't know how that works, but it's really good when they have it, when you can bring it. But
we're gonna do a little cheers before I go sit down.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Are we tapping?
Yeah. Tap tap.
Because we have to. Brucey Yard.
Oh my God, that's so good.
So good as always.
I finally get to have some.
Yeah.
That's so rude. Mitchell Ryan.
She's behind the camera. She gotta stay sober. I poured that in that. I was supposed to pour it in my Meander mug.
Oh, our Meander mug. See?
Yeah. Other shameless plug before
Shameless
we get
plug.
started.
They're really good. But I'll tell you what. You know where your uncle bought one?
Yeah.
He wanted to have, when he would drink his old fashions, I have a Yeti, and my ice stays. What he had would always melt. So he goes, I need to get a Yeti. And then, so that's what he drinks his old fashions out of.
Has it been working for him?
Yes, it has.
Good.
This whole weekend. Because we just got them.
Nice. All right. Well, I think that's enough of the intro stuff. How you been?
Pretty good. How about you?
I can't complain. Living life. Trying
Like
to
always.
bounce around a little bit.
What's your latest adventure?
Latest adventure was a family trip with my mom's side of the family. We went up to Edinburgh this past weekend. Got to play some, or hang out with them, and then rushed home, as always, for some softball. And we had our championship yesterday. We are our conference champions, or league champions, whatever.
How'd you do?
Good. I actually played really well yesterday. I hit pretty well. I got intentionally walked in the last inning. I was not happy about that.
Your pap would be smiling down for that one, let me tell you.
I walked up and they said something about like not pitching to me or like don't throw me anything good, and I was like, oh, that sucks. And then they pointed and intentionally walked me. I'm like, oh, that's even worse.
They didn't even just throw it so you could swing.
Nope.
Dang.
But
that's a nice compliment though.
Yeah,
I mean.
Yeah. And then my buddy who was hitting behind me hit a base clearing triple. So he walked as the bases loaded, and he hit a base clearing triple, and we ended up going up 2 runs. Well, 1 run I scored was the go ahead run, and then he was the second run, and he ended up getting in on a sac fly. So
that's good.
It was fun though. It was fun.
That's like I said, your pap, I'm sure.
No, yeah.
Because as a kid, we got drugged all those things, and it was funny because my dad used to always say the other team was really in a pickle because, of course, those weren't his words. Mm-hmm. But if you walked my dad, you had scrunt.
Yeah.
And if you walked scrunt, you had there was always somebody. So you had to take your chance and hope they popped up or something.
Yep.
So
Yeah, that's the thing. When you have someone behind you, especially that you're like, oh no, even if I don't, they got me. And I think on not any team, but when you play on a good team, you have that, and everyone just plays better because there's not as much pressure. It's like, oh well, I messed up, but I have 9 other guys that are gonna pick me up. So that's pretty cool to be a part of that. And I missed it a little bit. I haven't played too much. I've been trying to kind of phase out like the baseball and the softball part, but it always sucks me back in.
Well, it's your life.
Yeah, it's been most of my life for the last 30 years. So.
I think the funny part, when your uncle and I, obviously we lived in Washington State, and when we moved back here, it's like, are you going to go to Apollo Ridge? Are you going to go to? He went to Dayton. We were both like, you know what? We don't want to go anywhere like that. Mm-hmm. Well, I get married, so my last name changes.
Yeah.
But you guys didn't. You had that your name, so I always felt bad because you had an added, in my opinion, obviously, you had an added pressure that you had a legacy to follow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pressure on a kid.
It was a lot for a long time.
I believe, I truly, I used to tell Hunter all the time, oh my God. Now mind you, eventually, we're a small town. Mm-hmm. They find out that we're yards, Yeah. But at the beginning, nobody knew. A Staler kid, he's not too bad.
Yeah.
But he didn't have that pressure. Us, a yard kid, he better do.
Yeah.
That's a lot to ask of you guys. It really is.
It's definitely an added layer. And like you said, especially when you're younger, because you don't even fully understand why people were thinking that way or what has been built to make it that way. And then once you start to understand, you're like, okay, there's a little bit more pressure now, and then it finally comes full circle when you either, fulfill it or do your own direction of it. And I think that was a big transition, was figuring out, hey, yes, baseball is part of it. And lately has been the first time in my life where I've stopped being JT Yard's kid, and I'm starting to be Meandering Mitch, and I really like
awesome.
that. I really do like that. Don't get me wrong, I love being JT Yard's kid.
You got to make your own way.
Yeah, and stepping away from baseball a little bit in that aspect has been fun. Challenging, like I said, kind of keeps sucking me back in, but it's cool to have that shift.
But you're doing it because you want to do it.
Yeah.
Not because it's baseball season.
Yeah, it's not pressure anymore.
I used to get so much crap from my dad. So much. And your dad jumped at me a couple times about it, but I didn't care. First week of June, we would go camping, or we would go vacation down at the beach.
Baseball season.
Baseball season. Punk! Do you realize what you're doing? Dad, I do. It's beginning of the season. It's not playoffs. I would never do that during playoffs. I get that. It rains the first week of June in Western PA. We'll be all right. Mm-hmm. And I said, I don't regret that. I don't regret. And my dad would be like, well, then, you know what? If that was my team, he'd be sitting. I'd be like, you're hurting yourself. That's okay. And Hunter had no say in it.
Yeah.
We're going.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's kind of hard, especially with how the world is now.
Yeah.
You can't punish a kid for the parents' actions. And in this case, I mean, I don't blame you at all.
No, I get it. Yeah.
There are certain situations where it sucks that a kid is put in a situation where that happens, but to hold it against them is, I don't want to say it's unfair, because, I mean, well, it is, but life's unfair. So it's going to be one of those things where like, oh, well, you have a coach that doesn't like it, deal with the consequences or make up for it.
Try harder.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. And especially someone like Hunter, like, if he comes back and he has to try harder, he's just going to try harder. Like, it's not like...
He's not going to be like, okay, I quit.
Oh, darn.
No.
Yeah.
But, and now, like I said, I always felt bad because it seemed like, man, you guys, you had to.
Yeah.
And that's just extra pressure. It just is. I don't know.
Yeah, it felt like that for a lot. And there was some things where, we missed trips with, like, the senior trip. We missed the senior trip because of baseball. Missed a lot of vacation opportunities because of baseball. And in the moment, you're a kid, you're pissed off because you see your friends who are out having a good time. But looking back on it, you always feel like you're going to have that forever. Mm-hmm. So it's like, oh, I always have another baseball game. I always have another baseball game. Well, now I'm like, well, do I have more? I'm probably going to play some more, but how many more? Do I have another season? Do I have 5 more seasons, 10 more seasons? What does that look like? So looking back, I don't think I regret it because there was a lot of
You made
a lot of
good memories.
opportunities.
Yeah, but you made good memories, and you guys did well.
Yeah.
You know, you always had a winning team. You always
That definitely helps.
That definitely helps. When you don't have a winning team, it's like
Yeah, we didn't really miss too much because of high school baseball. The senior trip was because of high school baseball. The vacation stuff wasn't necessarily we were missing it. Like we had friends that were going on vacation and might like invite you along, but we always did our vacation after baseball season because it's just what we did.
that's a your thing.
Yep, definitely is. Why do you go so late in the summer? Well,
You
no
had a week.
baseball.
The last week of July, the first week of August. And then you could go on vacation.
Well, yeah, because then if you come back too late, then you're getting into football season.
Yeah, because you can't miss football
practice.
season, right? Because you got your 2 days, you got this, and well, you know, technically you don't have to go, but there are optional practices that you got to go to.
Everybody knows optional
Optional
football practice is not optional, and that's also the same for any optional practice.
What do you think now? This is totally off subject, but like when you were in school, okay, they didn't have the heat. What do they call that?
I don't even know what they call it, but yeah, they didn't have it.
Acclimation, I believe it is. You have to do so much, and you have. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's probably a good idea. It is. It's just it is because kids die.
Yeah.
Kids do. You know. So it's a good idea to have it. But I stop and I think back. I remember Uncle Jim would tell us about Mr. Rowlandson at Apollo. He goes, he would grab them by the face mask, and he goes, "Do you understand me? Do you?" And you know, and he'd shake their heads back and forth, and that. And I think, and the kids were like, "Yeah, okay." It's come a long way. You shouldn't do that. You could give a kid a concussion and all that stuff. So, I wonder what like somebody who's not old, hasn't been out of it that long, but how it has progressed already.
I think they do a little too much with some things. I do think the motivation behind it comes from a good place. Like, I do think it's developed because kids are having issues or dying, which is never a great thing. Never a good thing. But I do think it turns into that, like you're catering to the 1% that have pre-existing conditions or maybe just aren't cut out for the sport. And that holds back the other, like, it doesn't necessarily hold back the other 99%, but it holds back the top 1% who are trying to go further and trying to, like, they're the ones that are like, well, practice wasn't hard enough, I'm going to go practice more and more and more to get that same fill. And I think that's where it kind of...
You okay, honey?
It's so hard to hold it back.
Just for the record, she's choking on the beer. So this is why she doesn't get it.
No, I'm not choking on the beer. I was sick and I have a cough.
I like Carla. How do you not like Carla?
I mean, you can't not
How
like
do you
her.
not like Carla? She's a
Can't get
sweetheart.
any more beer, though. I know that. Last 3 months, no beer. This is why. Okay, we're back. Carla coughed. Cut us up a little bit. I don't remember
Carla.
what we were talking about. We were talking about the sports stuff, but I don't remember where we
We were
left off
talking about
exactly.
how you thought kids were sissies. No.
Wow. I was alluding to that, but I wasn't saying it. Now that you said it, so...
I don't think they are. I think I do. I think, okay, so looking back at even Hunter, or Chase or Taylor, the stuff that they went through that I see kids going through now, I see why they do what they do.
Yeah.
Do they over-exaggerate? Maybe sometimes. But an example, I mean, the concussion stuff. Did that start when you were in school?
Right towards...
Probably the end?
Yeah, like maybe 10th grade for football. For football was the only thing we had it for. Like you had to do like tests before the season and stuff like that, but I don't think you had to do it for anything else.
Well,
I don't know if that's the same way for...
Well, at Marion Center, they were kind of like, you had your concussion test, but Hunter, and not just Hunter, most of his friends, it was like, if you got hit in the head, you don't go see Trainer Pam.
No,
You know, I'm good.
Yeah.
because you got this, you got this. So, on one aspect, that's bad because it's a kid that could really be hurt, doesn't go seek the help.
Yes.
Now, we were good enough that we were like he came home one time at basketball practice. He went up for a layup, and somebody else came and blocked him and hit him. And I said, so did you go see Trainer Pam? No. why? Because I'd be out. I'm like, do you remember anything? Mom, I'm like, you're not practicing tomorrow.
Yep.
So some parents need to step up and be parents
Yeah.
and say, nah, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I think that is the kind of dark side of those tests and the new regulations there's a lot more cases on that borderline either way that aren't being tested at all because the kids know, like, well, I'm going to be out. I'm going to let my team down. I'm going to do whatever, which it sucks to be in a situation where you want to play and you feel like you can play, but you shouldn't,
You can't.
Especially at that level, because some kids, high school sports, for majority of kids, high school sports is where it ends, right? You're not going to college and playing sports. You might play pickup sports here and there, but you're not playing team competitive sports where you're going to practice. These are your family, essentially.
This is your family, yeah.
So you miss that, and you're even in the moment, you're going to miss that, right? So it's not like, I don't think it's necessarily you're missing it. I think it's more letting your team down. But with those regulations, a lot more of that is happening, in my opinion. I could be wrong. I'm not witnessing this.
No,
but I
would
expect a lot more of that's happening, where before it's like, oh yeah, I hit my head pretty good. I'll go get checked out just in case. But now it's like, oh, I'll hit my head. I need to make sure I'm together when the trainer's around, and you're basically faking like you're okay.
Which isn't good.
Which makes it worse most of the time.
In all honesty, I mean, it's not like they put these in for just to be mean.
Mm-hmm.
People have issues with that. What is it, CTE, I think, with the concussion stuff and all that stuff. I mean, it's legit. It's a legit thing. Mm-hmm. So there has to be a happy medium. You don't want to go too far one way, but you have to do something. So I think they're just trying to do something. And I think parents need to involve themselves in that stuff.
Yes. I think the issue, and this applies to pretty much everything on large scale, when you put a broad blanket over it, you make it more difficult for like the school to handle it, or like the district to handle it, or the conference to handle it. You make it more difficult when there's that basic blanket over. And like I said, it's that way with everything. When you have one broad rule that can be like, a lot of times it's interpreted different, or it supersedes other things that could be essentially more helpful. And it's like, well, we had our own concussion tests at our school that were potentially better at detecting things, or weeding out not weeding out. So I guess separating the actual injuries from the not so serious ones. But now there's this new regulation in place, and it's less effective, more broad, and people are essentially hiding from it.
Yeah.
So you start making more loopholes that people try to exploit and find just to get around it. Like, well, it said that they couldn't do this, or their score had to be this different, or because I could be wrong. I think when we took the concussion test, you took it at the beginning, and you had like a baseline score.
That was your baseline, yeah.
And then if you got hurt, you had to take it again, and it had to be like similarly close. So people would just be like, well, I'll just get a low score on the baseline, so that if I get a concussion.
You know what? I would have never thought to do that.
Well, yeah, a lot of people would.
Come on, wait a minute. On your last podcast, you guys talked about competitive.
Yeah.
And being competitive. Why would you want to slack? Well, you want to be the best.
Because I didn't care about like the tests or academics, Aunt Cathie. I was an athlete student, not a student athlete.
So was your
but it really there was a lot of that where it was like, oh, if I just get a low score now, then if I do have a concussion, I'll still pass it.
I never thought to do that, ever.
No. I'm sure there's plenty other ways that people get around all the tests they have now. Because if we're in 10th grade figuring that out, I can't imagine.
You got a point.
Yeah. Especially with ChatGPT, just be like, hey, how do I beat this test? Well, there it is.
It's kind of scary.
It is.
But you're right. It could. But I just think that defeats the purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I said, Taylor, when she was heading off to college, she was going to run cross country at Slippery Rock. So her and Rich are out. They were riding their bike, and we live in a country setting. So she was coming on a curve. A tractor's coming, and it was the ones that have the hay, that have those spikes on the edge that pull the thing up there. So your cousin panics. Instead of hitting the back brake, hits the front brake.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And so she flies. She goes flying. I'm at my house, and I get a phone call, and I hear Taylor in the background screaming, and I hear Rich saying, you got to get over here. So I find out where it is. I go over there to get it. And then she's banged up pretty good. She's got, stitches and all that stuff. We go to the hospital, and they check her out. They do all the tests, and they said she's fine. Stitched her up. We go to and when we left, they were like, she goes, can I run? Because she wanted to stay in shape. And they're like, well, yeah, sure. I'm like, no. So 5 days later, 10 days later, we go to her doctor and to get the staples out, or the stitches, or what have you. And I remember the doctor saying, so tell me what happened. She goes, oh, I don't remember. She goes, next thing I know, I was coming, I hit my brakes, and then my dad was picking me up or something like that. And the doctor, he looked at me, and I'm like, they said she didn't have a concussion. And he goes, I said, yeah, they told her she could run, and I told her she couldn't run until she got her staples out. And he was like, well, that's a good mom thing. But her whole thing is she had to go get a baseline and get all that stuff done because they weren't going to let her run at school.
Yeah.
But they shouldn't let her run at school.
Yeah,
she should have a test and that kind of stuff. So, I mean, it's there for a purpose.
Yeah.
But
I think it's universally agreed on that the reason it's there is good. I just think that it being implemented is not always implemented
for the best.
To its idea. Well, I do think the best intentions are there. It's just not the best practice. Like, it's not implemented in a way that makes it feel like it's safe for the student athletes. It makes it more of like a you're scared to get caught. Like, oh, I got hurt. Now I don't want people to know I'm hurt. You should let people know you're hurt because you can you can work your way out of that, right? Like you can do rehab on different things. So you twist your ankle, you twist your knee, you hurt your arm.
in her knees.
You do something like that. It's universally like, oh, well, let's just get you better. With concussions, it's pretty much like a hard line. Like, well, don't do anything.
But it's hard too because they have that. Like, there are some kids, and I remember there was a kid that, like, he wanted to play. He got hurt. I think poor kid was accident prone. He wanted to play sports more than anything else, but he legit, he had a major issue. Yeah. And I felt bad for him because all he wanted to do was get out there and play, and he would fail his concussion test every time. But that was for the best. He should have been out there playing, Yeah.
Sounds like he should have just got a lower score in the baseball.
We don't do that in Marion Center. Thank you very much.
So it's funny you say that. I just had a conversation literally yesterday with one of my buddy's girlfriend's fiancés. I think it's fiancé. Don't quote me on that part. But she was telling me about her high school career and basically how she went from one injury to another. And it basically took up like 2.5 years of her high school career, which isn't long to begin with. I don't know if anyone's doing the math out there, but there's basically 4 years in the high school career, and 2.5 of them are out. You're done. You can't do anything. And at that point, it was like she couldn't even practice. She couldn't do anything, so she's falling out of shape. She can't practice anything. So you lose a lot of that, and that can suck. Unfortunately, that's the cards some people are given. Well, and you have to pivot.
Because you think Chasey had her. She loved basketball. She was very good at basketball. Pap used to say all kinds of stuff about Chasey and basketball. But so freshman year she rips her ACL. She gets all rehab to get back. Sophomore year, first game, rips it. It wasn't even a game. It was a tournament at Punxsutawney. Rips the other one. Wow. She's out. That was her sophomore year. She didn't play again. She couldn't because it was so much. And that's sad because, you're right. She still had, all that was still the same, but there's still something that she missed out on, something that was her whole life up until then, And it is sad. You have to figure out, I don't know, kind of a way around it, I guess, but man, it's your knees. Yeah. And now as a parent looking back, I would never have let her play basketball again because, you're right, it's 4 years of your life. 4 years. She's, 28? Still has knee issues. Yeah. She's going to need is it worth it? How about your shoulders? How about your throwing? Hunter can't lift his arms straight. Yeah. Like Uncle Bruce. You know what I mean? Yeah. Look at your dad and his knees. All that kind of stuff that all goes with.
Yeah, I think a lot of it comes down to the difference in the individual and how you need to train your own body to prevent certain things. So say you have, like, your genetic makeup makes you have less than ideal knees for basketball. Well, there's going to be certain things you can do to strengthen them. And it's not going to completely eliminate the chance of an injury, but it might reduce your chance of injury by a percentage. I don't think we're at a point where we do know that. I'm confidently saying, without any knowledge on the subject, that I do think that, like, I personally, right, the only thing I've ever had issues with, knock on wood, is my ankles. I had so many. I used to roll my ankle like every basketball season, like 15 times a season, and it would be, I couldn't walk. I'd go into the trainer's office, get wrapped up to where I basically couldn't feel my foot, and I'd go back out and I'd play the game. And I did that continuously. Was an adult, I don't have ankle issues. Every once in a while I get a little stiff and stuff like that, but I do things to combat that on the everyday. Well, not like, if I'm having those issues, I know what to do to fix it, right? And I think that's where it comes in, is you have to have a process in place that's individualized for you. And I don't think that this is something that other people can really figure out for you. I think it's something you have to figure out yourself. And I kind of figured out what works for me through lifting and that kind of stuff.
What you can do and what you can't do.
Yeah, and figuring out, okay, well, if I do these lifts, it might hurt in the moment, but after it feels better, and it kind of relieves a lot of that tension or stress. Or, you know, if I do this certain movement, it makes it worse and I can't walk for a couple days. Or maybe even just, you know, insoles in your shoes that take away some pressure in different areas. And experimenting with that, I have some arm issues every once in a while with throwing. It's usually from overthrowing after not throwing forever.
Not warming up.
Yeah. Yep.
It's because you're 30 now.
Yeah, I keep hearing that a lot. I don't like it, but there might be some truth to it.
A little bit.
But no, figuring out what works for your body and how to eliminate the risk as much as you can for you personally. No one else is going to do it. Like, no one else. Your parents are going to care enough, but no one else cares enough about an individual athlete, or can care enough about an individual athlete, to go through and make that plan for however many. And the people who do care enough are typically having so many people to try to figure out that you can't physically make the time to do it. So that's the thing where it's like, okay, well, if no one else is going to take care of me, I need to take care of me. When you're 16, 17, 18, you're not thinking about that. I didn't think I was going to make it to 30. Here I am. I didn't have a lot of plans in place, but...
Okay, let me ask you. Okay, so that's funny you say that. So, people always, you know, at our age, people always say, what would you do different if you went back to your... Okay, so you're just out of your 20s. What would you do different?
All right, I'm going to cheat for a second, and I'm going to take a short break so I can think about my answer. And I'm going to throw some wood on the fire.
Okay, that sounds good.
So, the wood, this round of wood, logs, was purchased by Muskie. Thank you so much, Muskie. I appreciate you. Also, I'm going by the names that were given to me on the donations. So, I'm not going to use your first name and last name because that seems not right. So, Muskie, thank you for the wood and keeping the fire going. I appreciate you. I'm going to throw an extra little one on there too. And to buy us even more time, what do you think about doing a shot?
Alrighty. Now, I am not your uncle.
So you want an extra big shot?
So I will say, yo, slow. Yeah. I will be that one that says, no.
All right. Say when.
Okay, that's good.
Cussewago Creek Distillery. Said it perfectly right that time. Esther's Banana Rum, Liqueur. This is our shot. Thank you guys for the sponsor. And if you're ever up in the Meadville area, stop in, check them out, buy some booze. Cheers.
Cheers.
Such a different flavor.
I like it.
It's a lot more of a rum flavor at first, and the longer
Like the banana.
Sits, yeah.
Well, I like those banana fudgicles.
That's what it reminds you of.
A little bit. I'm good.
Love that. All right, now I'm gonna actually use my cup this time since I forgot the first time.
It keeps it nice and cool.
It does. I love it.
I'm telling you.
Carla, I'd ask if you want more, but I don't need you choking in the background anymore.
I haven't coughed since to the lovely mints.
Thank you very much.
Well, if you'd like hustle in here and I'll pour you the rest of this.
Sure.
Hustle, 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 hustle. Run, 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 run. And you might have to crouch down when you come in here. I don't know if you're in frame when you're standing or not, but or if you're in frame at all right now. But
well, that wasn't a lot. See, that wasn't a lot of beer.
Oh, I mean, it might have been for one person. It's only 3.2%, so it wouldn't have been too much.
Oh,
but
that's not too bad.
I know, right? But yeah. All right, we're in the Meander mug. Just out of my 20s. What would I change?
What would you? And seriously, that's only a couple months ago.
Yeah. Nothing. I don't think I'd change anything. I feel like I've lived 12 different lives since I've graduated high school. High school was its own thing, for sure.
Small town.
It's a very small town. But, okay. Through college, I was an athlete. That was how I identified. Like, that's how, if you ask me, what are you, what group do you fall in? Jock, athlete, all of those things. I don't think I was even close to the stereotypical, well, kind of close, but not fully stereotypical jock. After baseball ended, got a job salaried with Walmart. That was its own 2-year life. And then started my own business as photographer, which turned into video and media and all the things. And it's just kind of transformed then, or since then. But it's also been so many different things. Like, it was portraits, and then it was weddings, and then it was for fun, and then it was for weddings, and then it turned into, the Meandering Mitch and the podcast and all of that stuff.
When you went to Miami?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. You did that because I was like, Mitchell Ryan.
Yeah.
There's girls naked on there, and they're painted.
Yeah.
I don't think I appreciate that.
Well, they were painted, so it made it like they were clothed.
They're walking down the street. No.
Yeah, no, there was.
You lived
Very different.
Yeah, no, but I would always tell your uncle, I was like, and I've told you many times, you're living out what some of us were afraid to do.
Yeah.
Which it takes a lot of strength to do that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's not. I would not recommend it to most people. It's definitely not. It's definitely not for the faint of heart. There's a lot of stress. There's a lot of stuff to figure out. I've dug myself quite the hole that I'm climbing out of, but slowly but surely we're getting there. And
yeah, but you got memories, and you.
That's the thing. It's stuff that money can't buy. Like, I'm never gonna be 26 again in Miami, walking around with a bunch of painted girls.
Naked.
Yeah.
Naked girl.
So it's
walking down the street with paint on them.
Yeah. And I mean, on that trip, the painted girls were a little bit of a phase where I want to say probably like a solid 6 months. That was a lot of what I did, and it pretty much ended with Miami. I think we did 1 or 2 shoots after that. But like, you're walking around Miami.
You're in Miami.
And you're getting, like, we got on this private rooftop to do a photo shoot at a pool in this fancy ass hotel because I was walking around with 2 naked painted girls.
See?
I don't get to get in those kind of situations as a dude with a camera that often. I mean, with a camera, you actually get into some pretty cool situations in general. But that specific situation
but that's cool. That's what I mean. It was.
Yeah, it's stories. It's a lot of stories. It's a lot of fun. It's, the thing that I was really happy about, and probably the biggest takeaway, was that wasn't the lifestyle that I wanted. Like, Miami's cool.
Glad to hear
for a day. I could go out. I'm not going to these clubs to try to impress people. And like the one club we went to, we walk in and CeeLo Green is at the club and just decides that he's going to do a little mini performance. So they give him the mic and he just starts performing. I'm like, that's pretty cool.
That is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's cool to experience, and I would like to do it sporadically throughout my life just to continue the stories, but it's not something that I want to pursue as my main lifestyle. Like, I'm not moving to Miami to, build this influencer lifestyle. I want to do this kind of influencer lifestyle.
They have a different look on life than we do.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they just do.
Yes.
And like you said, that's cool.
Yeah.
That is so cool to have something like that, but could you do that every day?
No. Yeah, the thing that and this isn't always the case, by any means, but in general, the vibe down there was, what can you do for me? And I very much look at stuff as, what can I do for everyone else? And that's kind of like the community and all the stuff that I've started has been,
Agreed.
I had an outdoor community that, no exaggeration, has changed my life. I had so many new friends. I've had so many new experiences because of that community. I started my community because I wanted to make that a possibility for as many other people as possible. And I thought I could do it, and I still think I can. I'm implementing a lot of things, but in a different and better way to make a longer impact. So I don't want you to show up to an event and be like, oh, that was cool, I don't want to come back. Or like, maybe I'd come back. I want it to be like, when's the next event?
When are we doing it?
When are we doing it again?
Yeah.
And for the most part, that's how some of the events are. And it's you know, we're not even done. We're not halfway through the event. It's like, hey, when's the next one? What are we doing this again? And that's kind of the goal. But being able to see that shift, and I don't think you can fully commit to one without experiencing the opposite or the other.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I can't change it. I wouldn't change it because I'm not doing that. But without that experience, I'm not who I am, and I don't have the same view that I have.
Plus, you never know. Like you said, you never know if you never did that. You might always think, what if?
Yeah. Well, that's a big thing. I think that hurts a lot of people.
It does. One thing, it's funny, the what if. Okay, so 32 years ago, your uncle and I had the opportunity he got a job in Washington State. 2 months pregnant with Taylor. And I remember him looking at me and him saying, because come on, think about that. Nobody moved away from here.
Yep.
That didn't happen. That was rare. And I was going to have the first grandchild on both sides. I mean, there were so many things. And I remember him looking at me going, Kath, do we ever want to do that? What if? Mm-hmm. And I was like, no. And it's funny because we're only going out there for a year, maybe 2. 5 years later, you know,
yeah.
Which I wouldn't change that for anything. We got to see a whole other life. The West Coast is different than the East Coast, and it's not even like it's nothing bad. It's just a different lifestyle. But it was so neat to say, and I hate this now, but like I told the kids, go, live. Yeah. Go, and like Taylor down there, Chasey went down there, now Hunter's down in Virginia. I mean, and Chasey came back, and I'm hoping that she stays around here. Yeah. But I mean, that's the hard part, is not having your kids around. Yeah. But I mean, I wouldn't take that from them for anything, because that is such a cool experience.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't imagine. I mean, anything different, really. Like, experience the things, like you're saying. Do you... If you could go back and relive being in Washington, do you think you came back at the right time? Do you think you would have liked staying there a little longer? Less time?
I would say we came back at the right time because we had Chasey. Mm-hmm. And I can't tell you how proud I am of my children in general. They are just, love them to death. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine life without them. Yeah. Okay. The only thing I regret about coming back is we didn't get to do enough stuff out there. Does that make sense? Yeah. Because, I mean, we would go camping in Mount Rainier. Mm-hmm. God, there was a place that I think it was called Princess Jasmine's Creek. Do you remember? Something like that. But we were going up, you go up through the canyon, you go up through Rainier, and it was this jade green. I've never seen that color again in my life. Beautiful, you know? We got to see, but that's all we got to do. Like, if we would have stayed out there, I mean, we went to, the beaches on the coast where they have the big rocks, and we, would rock climb up them. Just goofy rock climb, not real. Yeah. But I mean, that kind of stuff, I missed it. We didn't get to do that. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, opportunity came up to move back. We had grandkids. Yeah. So, do I regret coming back when I did? No. And plus, your parents are around here, so and Grandma Yard was here. And I mean, there was just a lot here that families, well, we've talked before, families kind of important.
Just a little bit. So you use the phrase, you can't imagine life without your kids.
Nope.
What advice do you have to the people out there who are currently, and I think you kind of fall into this category, are empty nesting a little bit, where you're with your kids constantly, right? Like you spend a lot of time going down to Virginia and visiting
with their grandchild.
Going to Pittsburgh with Chasey and all that stuff. So you definitely have adapted that, but they're not in the house with you anymore. Was that a difficult transition? And what advice do you have for anyone who is dealing with it?
No, it's funny. We laugh about that because I don't know how to say it. Like, I loved watching my kids play sports. Loved it. Everybody told us when they're done, oh my God. No. And it wasn't, I missed watching my son or my daughters play the sport.
Yeah.
All that other stuff that went with it, which your parents could tell you about, is just bunk.
Yeah.
Okay? I don't miss any of that. I miss that. But, like, we would go watch Soph play, Brady play, something like that. Lucas, football. We would go do that. But if it was raining, we didn't have to go.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was that was kind of the nice part about it. As far as that's how it is with being empty nesters, I guess. If we come home like tonight, I come home from work, had a long day at work. I come home, I'm like, it's Aunt Barbie's tonight. We're just having Aunt Barbie. So like you don't have to think about anything. And your husband or your uncle's great because he's just like, yeah, whatever you want to do is fine.
Yeah.
You know, we can do it. So I wish I was an empty nester with all my kids local.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because I talk to Chase a lot. I talk to Hunter a lot. We talk to the kids a lot.
Yeah.
I just wish I could see them more.
Yeah.
You know, even with Chase being in Pittsburgh, we don't get to see each other enough because she's doing her pharmacy thing, and then you know, it's
busy.
It is, and it's only an hour away, but it just seems like she's in the middle of something. I don't want to bother her. I'm sure she feels the same this way, you know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think we probably have similar views on a lot of things. The one thing that I've kind of come to do, and this might change for you also, I stopped trying to make plans for so far in the future, especially with family, and it's more of like hey, I'm going towards Pittsburgh, so I'm gonna try to stop in and see Chase, or I'm driving. Like I did this last week with my Pap Hollis. I drove past the house and it was like a Tuesday at like 3 p.m. and I was driving past and I was like, I'll just stop in and say hi. It'll be 20 minutes, but I'll stop in and say hi.
But still stop in to say hi.
Exactly. And when your kids are local, obviously that's a little easier, but you're still close enough in that area where it's like, hey, we doing anything today? Nope. Let's go drive 5 hours to go see Taylor and John and Noel, and let's go do that.
Yeah.
Or hey, let's go to the Strip District and have lunch with Chase, see if she's available or whatever it might be. And I think that for me was a big change where it's like, hey, we can do whatever we want to do. You don't have to plan it out perfectly. It doesn't have to be like, hey, we're going to go on this trip with these people on these days.
And it has to be this way, this. Yeah.
Yes.
No. That doesn't work.
No. And every once in a while you get lucky, like our Armageddon. We got to do that.
I do that every year.
And it was planned. It was very much like...
But we know ahead of time.
Yes.
Like that, and that's what's nice, is everybody knows, like, hey, this is when it is, try your hardest.
If you can't, no big deal. We're going to give you shit for it, but no big deal.
Because that's what we do.
Yeah, that is what we do. We are the most jokingly abusive family ever, in the most loving way.
That's so funny, because I think about that. I think about us in general. And, like, I honest to God, I said, if I still had that stupid... buffalo plaid night robe, I would have wore it today, because no one's going to know who I am except with my face like this out there. And by the way, I was sleeping. I was not passed out. But I mean...
We can, if you want, we can put that
No,
right
we
here.
do not need to, and do not know. And the best part about that is when Pap passed away. Okay, and my dad and I had conversations about this. And... And the only reason I told your dad he could do it is because me and Pap were in the car, and I was taking him to one of his appointments. And he just started grinning, and he started laughing. And you know how he would get that, and I was like, what? He goes, what'd you do to your brother? I'm like, I don't know. Who knows what I did to JT? He goes, I think he's putting that picture on again. And I was like, Dad, and it just, he goes, I told him he needs to stop doing that, but he was telling me that as he was laughing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny. And I didn't get mad. Like, you can't get mad about stuff like that. That's just part of how we are.
Yeah.
And I threatened him with some videos that I have of him now. Some good stuff.
Well, we can also put that right here.
That might be a good idea. But I mean, as far as our family goes, that's what we do.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we can do that.
Mm. No one else can.
No.
Yeah. Yeah,
I would just think everybody's that way, but I don't think...
No, I don't even know. I just had a conversation about that recently with someone else where it was like, I thought every family bullied the shit out of each other. No, it's just us. You do that around other people, you're like, why do you guys hate each other so much? It's like, what do you mean? These are my favorite people.
I would want to hang with these people. Yeah. They're cool.
Yeah. But no, I like, and with my dad specifically, right? Yeah. Like, that's his love language. Like, that's how he shows he cares. And it pisses you off because when you're at the butt end of it, because you're like, oh, son of a bitch, not again.
You know, he just... my entire life, like poor Brucey Yard. You know, we laugh because like no matter what Bruce does, he's the kid. He's the baby brother. Mm-hmm. He's always going to be the baby brother.
Yeah.
And JT, I'm the oldest. Mm-hmm. He forgets that. like he walks around like he's in charge, and I'm stupid enough to go, okay, go ahead. You know?
Yeah, I do the same thing as the oldest, so I can't even...
Yeah.
I can't give you too much shit, so...
What are you going to do? No. You know, but at the same time, I wouldn't change any of them. Yeah. I wouldn't change my brothers. I wouldn't change my sister-in-laws. I wouldn't change any of that stuff, because we're very lucky. Pap used to always say to me that one of the things he was most happy about with me, JT, and Bruce was our spouses. Mm-hmm. He says... You guys all have the perfect spouse to represent you, like to compliment you. Yeah. And I said, when we were younger, and Uncle Rich and I had a place in Homer City, and your dad and your mom and Uncle Bruce and Aunt Amy would come over, and we'd play games and we'd do stuff. One of our favorite sayings that Kelly would say was, kiss my ass, Jack. It happened all the time, but I mean, great memories. Yep. You know, those are good things.
And like you said, perfect compliment. Like the complimenting personalities. Like, he doesn't give shit, or he doesn't take shit, she always gives shit. So it's like...
And the thing is Kel's not caring. Yeah, and like I said, something Bruce said in the last one was really like, she has the kindest heart that I know. Yeah. And that's such a great thing, you know. And then I look at Bruce and Amy, and they just compliment each other. So they really do, and that's what my dad would always say, you know. And like with Rich, I mean, my dad would be like, "You like to pretend like you're in charge," and then Rich will be like, "Yeah, we're not doing that," and you're like, "Okay." Very accurate.
Yeah. Huh. All right, I got a question for you.
Sure.
But before you answer it, I'm going to throw on a couple more logs.
Okay.
So, what advice would you give to... I don't know if it's different. So, is there a difference in advice you would give to someone in high school versus someone like me in their 30s who's single, who's looking for a spouse, in what to look for? Is there a difference? If there is, what is the difference? Huh. If there's not, what would the general advice be? But think on that for a second.
I will do that.
This log was purchased by Sam. Appreciate your support, Sam. We're going to throw this log on. If you would like to also buy a log from us and support the campfire burning on just a little bit longer, there will be a link in the description. You can check that out. It will be under the buy log little tab with a link there. Just go in there and do what you'd like. Make sure you add your name so I know who you are if you don't have an account on the Ko-Fi or Ko-Fi, whatever the website is. just because sometimes it says this person supported you and donated, and it doesn't give me a name to say thank you, and I like to say specifically thank you to who. So, Sam, I appreciate you, and yeah, we're gonna throw your log on. Okay, was that enough time to think, or do you want another shot?
No. You're gonna sound corny.
Okay.
And I don't care. I'm too old to care. I believe very strongly that you have a destiny kind of thing. Like your uncle and I. When I look at us, things that happen in his life, things that happen in my life. Like, how did we meet? I believe that God puts people in your life for a reason. I believe that very strongly. It doesn't mean, sometimes you just need a friend, you know? And I think a job change or they put those people in your life. You could be in someone else's life because they need something you have. I believe that with somebody looking for love. I would tell my kids all the time, I said, don't look. Don't look. Because when you look, you don't find.
Yeah.
But when you can be satisfied with your life the way you are, and you're content with being on your own, God's going to say, here you go. It's going to be, sprinkle that little flower on you. I believe that. I don't believe that. I mean, because you think, okay, so Bruce and JT both married high school sweethearts. I did not. But as soon as Rich and I met, it was like we just both knew.
Yeah.
I just think there's something there that you just know. So I don't know if that's the right answer, but I mean that's how I believe. I believe strongly. Like I look at Taylor and John and Chase and Chase.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't ask for me at least to say, sorry. I couldn't have handpicked men for my daughters. The way they treat them, put up with them. We know.
Yep.
But I mean,
it's like quite a few family functions. Yep.
But the love, like you can see the love, and as a parent to look at that, that's all I care about. I don't care if they're uber rich or poor as dirt. The love.
Yeah.
That's important.
I would agree. I don't think there's anything more important. I really don't. You have that love and that caring for someone. That
you'll do anything for, you know, and and I just think I look it back, like obviously, I based my marriage, what I wanted to be like was Grandma and Grandpa Yard, because I remember, and I have Grandma Yard's this little tray that she used to, that was really important to her. It was a wooden tray that she got in Williamsburg. Williamsburg. Grandpa Yard used to, in the evening, bring her tea and cookies, and they would sit and have tea and cookies. And that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
I just wanted someone to care for me like the way that they cared for each other.
Yeah.
My husband has not brought me tea and cookies, and I have the tray. I have the tray, and how many times I tell that story, I just don't get tea and cookies.
I feel like we need to make that tea and cookies happen, Uncle Rich. I know you're here listening, but if you rewatch this later, maybe a little reminder to just Amazon some tea and cookies so it's ready.
But it was just so neat because I remember I remember this is one time I was at their house, and when you walked in their house, in their living room, she had a love seat and a chair and a couch. And she was sitting there, and I was on the love seat. And here comes Grandpa. And, okay, so, growing up the way I grew up, men are men.
Yeah.
You know, my dad.
Yeah.
Here's my grandpa, my dad's dad, bringing in his wife and his granddaughter tea and cookies.
Yeah.
It's the coolest thing ever, you know? I mean, those are little things that I remembered, you know, I set it away and I was just like, that's what I want.
Yeah.
But you want somebody that's gonna make you feel special.
Yeah.
And I just think God God puts them in your life. You just have to not be stupid and
That's
look.
kind of the hard part sometimes.
Sometimes you young kids, let me tell you.
Back in my day.
Back in my day, we used to walk we used to walk and steal corn up there and go corn houses.
I think it's past the statute of limitations, so I think you can say that now.
I think I'm okay. Yeah, well, we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I jokingly said that the other day. We were driving somewhere, and I said, "Hey, let's go into that field and get some corn to corn some houses." My mom was like, "That's not the right corn." I was like,
"You would know, yes."
I didn't even know that was a difference, if we're being honest, but that's not what I meant. Like, wow, I know of corning, but I didn't know there was different corn for corning.
It's a funny thing. It's totally off subject, but okay, out our way, when Taylor was in school, Hunter and Chase too, they used to call it forking. Do you know what that? Okay, I said that correctly, just so we all know.
You want to stand up and say it?
No, I do not want to announce it. I don't want to announce that because who knows what I'll say. Okay, so they used to take forks and they would sneak into someone's yard and they would plant plastic forks all through the yard. Sometimes they'd put a marshmallow on it, and sometimes like Fruit Loops or something all over. Okay, like that's the stupid stuff in our small towns that they did.
Yep.
So that used to be, Taylor said, that used to be her when they had a icebreaker thing. Mm-hmm. And we used to go forking it our way. But it's it's small town stuff.
Yeah. I never did that. I went corning a couple times, but it was always someone else had the corn apparently. I didn't have to go get my own. But yeah, I ding dong dished a lot. That was easy to do. You can't do that anymore. You can't do that.
You know what? Some kid the other day, this is so funny, and I hope he watches this. But I get up in the morning and I see on our ring that on our blink that we had somebody, it was 2:35 moving on our front porch. It's like, what? Sometimes it's bugs, Yeah. So I look, and there's this kid, and he's tiptoeing up the house, and he's laughing. He's going tick 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 on my door. I'm like, dude.
There's a camera right there.
Like it is not hidden. It's like right there. And I'm laughing because I was like, I'm sure it's a neighborhood kid or anything, but it was funny, and we never even heard it. So it wasn't even like he rang the doorbell or anything. But you can't do can't do that stuff anymore.
You just have to accept you're going to be on video. And be aware enough to know that you're on video.
Oh my gosh, the stuff we could do that you...
Yeah, I had a very different childhood. And I'm realizing that more and more the more I talk to all of my aunts and uncles, how different my childhood was. Like, I was drinking and running through a cornfield away from the cops. I'm like,
you had to hide.
What do you mean?
All you had to do was hide in the weeds, and you slid down there because they took the foot like this. But you were in the weeds; they couldn't see you. So good. And the funny part is, most of the time, like at least for me, I should say. Mm-hmm. It was all bark, nobody. Like, yeah, we're going to go to a party, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
I was afraid to drink because I was afraid I was going to get caught. Yeah. So I was the first one to run, and they couldn't have done anything to me because most of the time I wasn't even drinking. But it was fun.
But you guys did hear it first. If you're running from the cops, Aunt Cathie says lay in the weeds.
Lay in the weeds, they can't see it. They'll take that spotlight and go right across. Don't move the weeds, because if they see the weeds move, you're in trouble.
Oh, jeez. I am trying to cut these episodes down. So let's go with one more question.
Okay, I'm good.
If you have a question that you'd like to ask, you are also welcome to do that after. But I'll give you one. If you want, you can give me one. If not, we'll end it there, and that'll be our episode. Aunt Cathie.
Mitchell Ryan.
If you could simplify finding happiness in life into 3 things to find, what would it be? Or what would they be, rather?
Okay. One thing I would say, quit being angry. Everybody's so angry nowadays. I mean, I was talking to a friend of mine at work today, and that's what we talked about. We were just like, why can you see something and I see something? We see 2 different things. Mm-hmm. Okay. Why do you have to hate because I saw it this way? And you stop.
Yeah.
And that's what scares me with this world. It seems like it's so much anger. Just, there's no reason for it. 9 chances out of 10, We can't change anything. We can't.
Mm-hmm.
You can vote, you can do all that stuff, and I recommend you do that stuff by all means. But accept that other people have different views than you do. Accept that other people have different feelings about stuff. That's okay. Stop being angry. Just let people be.
Yeah.
You know, that's happiness in itself. Find love. But it doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be male, female love. Find someone who will support you no matter what you do. Because that makes you more confident and more willing to try things. And more, if I screw up, guess what? I get somebody who has my back.
Yeah.
Find people that have your back. There's no, what is that saying, that it's not about what people say while I'm in the room. It's who has your back when you're out of the room and people are saying. That's legit.
Yeah.
You know. Third thing. I don't know. I guess just two things. Don't be angry and find love. But find what makes you happy. I hate to say it because it sounds so cliche and stupid, but it sounds dumb, but it's like I really wish that the world did have peace and we did have that kind of stuff, so that it wasn't so, man, mean and bad things happening to good people and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Hate that.
Yeah. Fortunately, I think it's the world we're in for now, and do your piece to change what you can, but
that's, I say this all the time, I'm like, you know what? But you can't make me be that way.
yeah.
I'm done. I this is gonna kind of goofy, but like, okay, so years ago, and this is so corny, it's not even funny, but I'm gonna say it anyways. Okay, so Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, okay, refused to watch any of their movies because she was a homewrecker, in my opinion. Okay, Kathy Styler's opinion, but. Like, that's how long ago I've been, like, if I don't agree with something that somebody's doing, I'm not going to scream and yell, because it doesn't do anything. But you know what? I'm not going to support them by giving them money.
Yeah.
Like, certain places that I don't agree with their politics, or I don't agree with what they're doing here, I'm just not going to give them money.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
You can't make me somebody I know I'm not. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, I think this kind of connects to what you're saying. Basically the story about the snake in the fire. You ever heard this?
I don't know.
So, snake falls in the fire. Try to reach. Man tries to reach in and grab the snake. And he's trying to pull the snake out of the fire, and he's pulling the snake out of the fire, and it bites him, and drops it back into the fire. Well, the man tries to pull the snake out of the fire again, it bites him, and drops it back in the fire. And he finally pulls the snake out, and someone's like, "The snake kept biting you. Why are you saving it?" It's like, well, if I was in the fire, I'd probably be a little freaked out too. And that's not exactly how it is, but essentially it's, the snake's nature is to bite, and my nature is to save the snake. So just because the snake's biting me, because of its situation, I'm not going to not help it, because my situation and my nature is to help the snake. And I think that goes a long ways in fixing society, is like you're saying, don't change to what the world is. Be what you think you should be. And if the world changes around you, good. If not, you're still you. You're still the good person.
It's perfect, because it starts by us. Little changes. Like, that's a great analogy. Kind of like, I'm not going to change. Yes, I'm probably going to get taken advantage of. Yes, I'm going to have, because that's just how, but that's my personality. Many times I'd be like, it's it, I'm done. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to be, I don't care. And someone calls you up and you're like, sure, I'll do it. you know? It's your nature.
Yep.
Don't change.
Could not agree more.
Yeah.
Do you have any final questions for me?
I did have one for you. Where do you see yourself?
Oh.
I'm not down the road. I'm not saying 50 years, 60. I'm just saying next year this time. What is your end game? What is your goal for just a year? Not small goals.
Small goals. This time next year, I think I'd like to be out west. I think I'd like to do some kind of trip, or maybe do some seasonal work again. But I'd like to experience more of out west and some national parks. I'd really like to take the podcast mobile, and I have some friends who travel around a good bit to national parks who are interested in being on. So I'd like to travel to a national park, have a guest at that national park, and do some of that stuff. I'd like to commit a lot more time to making some videos for companies that I support.
What does that mean?
So basically just brands whose values I share. So I want to work with companies. I want to be a lot pickier. And not that I haven't been picky to this point, because for the most part I have. But I really want to dive into sharing values with the people I work with, instead of just what's the most profitable in the moment or what's the most lucrative long term. Because I mean, like YouTube, right? It's easy to fall into this would be the best for views, let me do that, and not this would be the best for my community. And I feel like for the most part, I've stayed what's best for the community, what's best for the viewers and all that stuff. And I've been focusing on Campfire Convos a lot lately. And it's got a lot of traction, it's got a lot of new supporters, a lot of new viewers, and I absolutely love that. So seeing that connection that's been made, where it's real people, real connection, real support, has kind of shifted me away from going for like the millions of views and more into the, if I get 1,000 views, but that 1,000 views is people who now know of a product that can make their camping experience better for $10, or keep people, or just making outdoor activities more accessible to people. Because a lot of the times I think the hurdle is they don't know. They don't know that you can go out camping for $20.
No.
They don't know that, there's a park down the road that you can get into and not pay anything and spend the whole day with your family and a little beach area or whatever it is. I think the lack of knowledge about a lot of simple stuff is holding a lot of people back, or just maybe even assumptions of the difficulties that are associated with, like, all right, going out, I gotta set up camp, I gotta set up a tent, I gotta set up the sleeping pad, I gotta set up the the campfire, I gotta start the campfire, set up the campfire, I gotta cook, I gotta do all this stuff. No, take your comforter off your bed, a couple pillows, maybe an air mattress if you want. You really don't need to. Find a nice soft space in the grass, go to McDonald's, grab a Big Mac, go sit outside, go to sleep under the stars. You'll wake up in the middle of the night, you'll look up and be like, oh, I'm a little stiff, and you'll see a shooting star and you'll be like, I'm so glad I did this. And that's the thing where just spreading the message a little further, I think, would be cool. Unfortunately, with the nature stuff around here, there's a lot of beautiful places. It's really hard to compete when most people out west can just walk outside and there's like 17,000 mountains behind them, and it catches people's attention a lot better. And again, unfortunately, I don't like it this way, but its reality is keeping people's attention is a big part in expanding the message. Yeah. So the easier it is for me to expand the message with capturing attention, I think the better off I'll be and be able to accomplish my goals. And I think out west would help that a little bit.
Well,
so
I'm lived out there.
Yeah.
I agree. But mind you, we were in the desert, but still, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
What you're missing, because I was out there, is when you're driving on 22, you're going to Evansburg or something, you're coming down there, and you see those mountains, and you just see, okay, the rolling hills and all that kind of stuff. Beautiful.
Yes.
When you go on 30, I think I have this right, I think it's 30, when we go out towards Chambersburg, something up that way, you're coming down that twisty mountain. Gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean, there's things out there that you don't have to drive an hour to see. You can drive down the road here.
Yeah.
And as you're coming down a hill, there's a road on one of these back roads. When you come into, there's this one hill, this one tree that when I was a kid, it used to, in the fall, it was the prettiest colors I've ever seen. And I mean, it's just, you don't have to go far to see that.
Yeah.
But sometimes we don't see that here.
Yes.
I had to move away, like, and for us, we lived in the desert out there, so I missed the seasons.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't miss the seasons, and now, like 90 degrees, I hate it. I despise it. Maybe it's because I'm in my 50s, I don't know. But, like, I can't wait till these all change, the colors change, and then the snow comes. I like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't get that everywhere else. Sometimes we don't see what we have right in our face. You have to, sometimes, but by all means, you need to go away to see.
Yeah.
To see that, to appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know?
I think the appreciation part's the big part. It's like, oh, well, this is cool, but I do have a lot of really cool stuff around where I grew up. And I truly feel that for the most part, I appreciate a lot of the stuff around here, right? Like, I can go to YT Park still and sit there and stare at the pond that I used to stare at for hours while I weed whacked the entire thing. And I can still sit there and appreciate it. Or I can walk around it just to see what jumps in the water, just because. I did that last week. I literally just walked down and walked around the pond just to see what jumped in, because that was my favorite thing to do when I was weed whacking.
As a kid.
Yeah, what's going to jump in? Or as a kid
As
even,
a kid, that's what, I mean,
Yeah.
and it's funny because it's generational, because we used to fish there when we were kids. Yeah. You know, it's just the property. Mm-hmm. I mean, you walk around the property over on the other side. I mean, there's so much pretty stuff there.
Yeah.
You don't see it sometimes, you miss it.
And I think for me personally, and who knows what the world will throw at me, but I would like to move away. I'd like to experience some other places and other people and expand all of those things. But when it's time to have a family, I'd like to be back here and have the familiar things, have the family connection is the big thing for me. I want my kids to have the cousins to hang out with, because that was such a big thing. The aunts and uncles to see, the grandparents to see, just all of the amazing family that we have to be involved in my kids' lives. I don't know when that's going to happen. At this rate, never. But I'm sure it'll happen eventually.
Yeah, it always does.
But
that's important, because you're right. I mean, Easter egg hunts. Mm-hmm. And I think the funniest thing is, like, trying to explain to people on the outside, like, our Easter egg hunts.
The fact that we still do Easter egg hunts when everyone's in their 20s, 30s.
But the best part is, I think it was Taylor explaining to John, or maybe it was Chase to Chase, I don't remember, but they're like, okay, now, there's a golden egg. And I'm telling you, you get ripped apart, you get thrown down. But when I look at that, I laugh, because I think those are memories. Yeah. Those are, like, the memory I have that we talk about was, okay, after Pap died in November, that first Christmas at the house. Mm. It was just us down there, but we were playing that Sate, whatever. Muda, that's it. We were playing that. That was so fun. Yeah. That's the stuff that's when I want my family around, because those are things you can't, those are just whims. Yeah. Those aren't planned, like we were saying before, they're not planned things, they're just, hey, let's all go down there. And then we started trying to look it up to say it real fast. Like, how do you say this in Italian? And then there was Tanner.
Yeah, making up his words.
But I mean, I myself love the fact that my nieces and nephews were as important to me as my kids. Mm-hmm. Like that. And my kids and your parents and Bruce, they were important to them too. Do you know what I mean? That is the nice thing about being back here. Yeah. Is that in general.
Yeah, the thing, and we got to end this because we're going to keep going forever. I think when Pat passed and we started hanging out and doing all the things that are even just the things that were related to the funeral, being together as a family and seeing each other, we say it every time. We have such a cool family. We need to just hang out.
And we all get along.
We do.
We do. I mean, as much sarcasm and crap that we give each other, we all get along. Yeah. And that's
It's just, I think everyone truly knows, like there's no doubt in our family that everyone loves each other, that everyone cares about each other.
100%.
And I mean, I have to give you guys, my parents, Uncle Bruce and Aunt Amy, Pap and Graham, all of the credit, because you guys all worked, even if it was unintentional, you worked so hard to build this amazing thing that now you set the standard too damn high. It's probably why I'm sitting here looking at all the other stuff, but
I didn't think it's high at all.
No, but I think that you guys did a lot of stuff to build an amazing family, and I don't think we would have anywhere close to the awesome family we do without any single piece of the puzzle.
Well, I think, like, for me, success for my kids, but for my nephews and my niece is just as important. Like, your success means a ton to me, obviously, because this isn't what I would do normally.
You don't like being on camera?
Not even a little bit. But like Tanner, Brady, you know, Lucas, Sophie, all that's I'd do anything to support them. I would, and I know Bruce and Amy and your mom and dad would do the same for mine.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes a family. That's what makes that bond. You don't have to talk to each other every day. You don't have to see each other every day. I could call up and say, hey, I'm broke down here on the road. Okay, I'm coming to get you.
Yep.
Do us what you do.
Yeah.
That's family.
Yep.
And that's more important, I think. And talk about happiness. Make happiness with your family.
Yeah.
I mean, some people might not have the dynamics we have, and that's fine. Sometimes friends are family.
Yeah, you don't have the blood family all the time, but you can build a family.
You can build a family. You can have somebody there that's going to have your back no matter what you do.
Yeah. Find those people and don't let them go.
Don't.
And be the person that you want them to be also. Like, if you expect someone to be there no matter what, you better be there
You got to
no
be
matter
there.
what.
I don't care if it's 2 o'clock in the morning and they got arrested. Okay, I'm coming to get you.
Yep.
Stupid. What were you thinking? You be that person.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, Aunt Cathie, thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely, buddy.
We're not done yet. We're going to throw the rest of this on.
Okay.
And we're going to do another shot.
Okay.
So, again, what's that?
And the bonus episode.
Oh, we got to do the bonus episode too. I forgot about that.
What's a bonus episode?
Oh, you'll see. All right. Muskie and Sam, thank you so much for your support and buying a log. And again, if anyone else... Messed that up. If anyone else would like to buy a log, link is in the description.
You know what? We haven't drank as much as you and Uncle Bruce did, and you knocked it over.
We can change that pretty quick.
No, that's good. That's good.
All right, Aunt Cathie, say when.
When?
I poured a little quicker that time because I knew she was going to say it quick.
She did.
Don't worry, I won't let you do too much by yourself. I'll do it with you. Aunt Cathie, thank you again. To family.
To family. Love you.
Love you too.
These are nice glasses.
Thank you. Actually just ordered a bunch of them. Well, not this exact, but these are actually courtesy of Carla. Carla made these.
Nice, Carla.
Yeah, we don't give her credit all the time.
Wait,
but
you made these, hon?
Yeah, I made them.
Very nice.
Yeah, when I say Carla made it, I meant I sweated over these, making them in my...
So Carla made them.
Yeah. Yeah, she did.
Banana. Now I
Yes.
get the banana.
Did you yell at one at a time?
I did.
That is all we got for this episode. We're going to do a bonus episode right now that she didn't know about and I forgot
I
about.
have no idea what that
But
is.
it'll be, it's just pretty much a little bit
Is
more...
it on Patron?
It will be on Patron. No, it's on Substack.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
I don't know what that is.
For you listening, Patron is actually Patreon. That link will be in the description. Substack will be in the description. All of our stuff will be in the description, including the community that we are a part of, that we mentioned earlier. So if you're interested in any of those things, check them out. I'm not going to be pitchy. I'm just saying if you're curious, check them out. But...
Be pitchy.
Yeah, be pitchy sometimes.
You should be pitchy. You should be proud of what you have.
I am, but I don't want to be like, here, look at it. I want people to be like, oh, I want to check that out. You know what I mean?
Both sides. And listen, there's still ice cubes in there.
Well, cheers again.
Baby. Cheers, babe.
Till next time, I appreciate you. Peace.
It's my favorite part.